But the Wagner and Devon match, obviously everybody who's tracking this stuff saw, the day before Devon and Wagner grip up and pull what appeared to be very, very hard for about 10 seconds. I guess after the weigh-in. Were you there for that, Sam?
I wasn't there for that, and it actually surprised me to see that they were pulling and then that hard. I think it was just you do a grip up for everyone to see, this is about what's to happen. And then I think they actually started pulling hard. And Wagner was a little red in the face, and Devon's his arms opening up a little bit. And I was like, wow, which is super cool. I loved all of it. But, you got to be careful. Competitor to competitor, you grab a hold of the guy in the right arm. I would love to do that with my, my competitor, just kind of grip up and see all of that. But you're taking a risk every time you do it, I feel.
I think Devon benefits when he does it, though.
My gosh. Sure, for sure. If you had to pull Devon for your house, the deed to your house is on the line, and he goes to shake your hand before that match, are you even going to let him touch your hand? I wouldn't even let the guy touch me.
You don't even go stand in the same room with him. Doing some mental warfare or something.
Right. No, I thought, I picked Devon. I think we all picked Devon, right?
I picked him, but I didn't think he was going to win in that fashion. I thought there was going to be some sort of, I almost thought King's move where he was going to have to be, and much more, just real and tight. When he wore Wagner down and Grandpa handed him, I was in shock. I was very impressed by the fashion that he won in. I didn't foresee Wagner being, that easily dominated. We saw what happened when he got his press, and even after he was exhausted. Devon was kind of giving up a lot there, and obviously, I think he gave him that win. But in the same aspect, Devon looked, bigger than I think we've ever seen him. That might be the biggest Devon we've seen to date. Yeah. But he seems so powerful.
Yeah, 277. And I think we're all pretty, we're fans of Devon. I think anybody involved in the sports is kind of a fan of Devon for sure. But that's why I started hearing about Wagner. I started thinking, oh my gosh, this dude is a monster, and I probably picked wrong. But after seeing them pull the day before, I think I changed my mind. Sam, what did Wagner look like in person?
He looked like his upper body seemed big, but he honestly didn't look like a 300-pound dude. So I'll compare him to Dave Chafee. A Dave Chafee 300-pound, would kind of dwarf him in different ways, I think. But so we'll go back to Devon. Devon looked huge. When I seen Devon there, showed up at the event, seen Devon, I was like, man. And just his arms and everything, he just looked huge. Biggest Devon I've seen for a long time. And I figured he would have to go in a hook, but I thought, just full commit, just slamming the hook. But it seemed like he didn't even have to, it wasn't just firing off first. He just kind of slowed everything down, and he just held him with ease. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, it was definitely, he definitely brought the Brazilian, to be there, in person, to see him. He's so fiery and gets so worked up. That was awesome to see.
I love that match. I thought it was overall very entertaining. And I really hope Wagner gets more opportunities to pull in WL. I thought it was I think he's just an entertaining, high-energy person.
Absolutely.
It's kind of tough because he has to make his debut against Devon Larratt, who is the biggest version of himself and who has a healthy left arm. And then he's fighting a lot of things. He's got the language barrier there. He obviously had a hard time communicating with Bart. So that puts him at a disadvantage. And then the WAL format puts him at a disadvantage. And then not to mention that Devon is the absolute best technician that there probably is out there. But I mean, so you think Devon gave him the flop wrist press there? Because I felt like that was legit. It really looked legit, and it really looked like had Wagner gone to that early before he was blown up, and you know, he really didn't even come. He didn't attempt to come back to it. He kind of just hung on, and Devon sunk the hook in deep, and then Dad moved him, which.
So I think Devon was kind of just, you know, hanging out. Like, you know how Devon likes his opponent to pin himself? Wagner got to a good position. So Devon was in a position he wouldn't normally have been into. And I think once Wagner really got committed to a press, Devon was like, holy shit. And, you know, either he would fight 110% and wear himself out and potentially end up losing afterwards, or he just, you know, he really couldn't hold on to that bottom position. But I don't think he would have ever got that far out of position knowing it was going to go, you know, that way. I think it was just, he was just goofing off, you know, just, you know, I don't think he would have ended up in that position if he was arm wrestling seriously.
Right. No, I thought the match was super entertaining. I thought it was good. Is there anything else that you noticed from that match, Sam? Did you get to talk to Wagner at all? Interact with him?
I don't speak Portuguese, so, you know, no. I mean, I said hi to him. It was nice to meet and everything, but no, we didn't do any conversations.
What about Devon?
Oh yeah, sure. I always talk with Devon, and we hung out. Yeah, he's looking to prove himself in a few, not only left hand, but he's looking to prove himself right-handed too. And the way he's looking now, you know, I think next year will be even more exciting than this year for a lot of different people, you know, including him, Devon. Yeah.
So that brings up a good point, and maybe you know something we don't know after being able to talk to Devon and be around them guys. Now, obviously, this is the debut left-handed match. So there's two things kind of that I was thinking first about that match. After the end, Devon's doing his interview and everything, and he's talking about like the two guys who were pulling for the hammer right-handed, and he was saying he felt like at that time in his current state that he would have, you know, he beat both of them on that day. So does that mean his right arm is totally healed? Because I know, you know, there was question of who was going to get the hammer match, and I know Devon had the right arm injury. Did he say if he was healed up?
He definitely had, you know, a little bit of problem with his right hand, and you know, he really thought the two guys there deserved to be there in the finals. And I think he's just looking to get the best version of him, the strongest. And before he steps out there to reclaim the hammer, I think he wants to really, you know, be the best he can, and he wants to take the hammer, not just, you know, he don't want no second guessing or whatever. He really wants to come in and take it. So, and that's like each competitor, they want to make sure they're dialed in.
Right.
You know, I think that's what he's going for.
Right. So the other thing that I meant was talking about these matches with Dave Morocco and a couple other people, and I think most people would say, you know, left arm. Those questions was Devon going King's move. Everybody's worried about the King's move. Did he have a left-handed King's move? Whether he's going to King's move, whatever. But I think Devon kind of put all that to rest. I mean, he stood tall. He pulled inside. He stopped Wagner in his power. I thought he looked extremely powerful, and he looked like the version of Devon that I think we saw, you know, years ago, where if he stopped the match, that he was going to inside grind you out, which I thought was very, very impressive. But the next piece to that is what does that left-handed match, does that lead to anything else? I don't know if you were able to talk to Steve Kaplan or any of the powers that be. Is there any inside info or speculation as to what's going to happen with the left hand?
Yes, that opens up the world for left hand. That was their introduction to it, and you've seen how everybody reacted to it. Everybody loves it. And you're going to be able to pick out, pick people here and there that are just great with left-handed, and then you're going to be able to find these guys in the lightweight, in the middleweight, in the heavyweight. So that just opens it up so much bigger. They can do the exact same thing they're doing with the right hand with the left hand. And maybe even like the left hand that just happened, Wagner. he is so interesting, and he's dominant left hand. You'll find all these individuals that are so entertaining. So the left hand has every bit of a. Oh, and then speaking of one left-handed guy, the Travis dude. Isn't he one of the most entertaining guys? Like, now you open up a whole other can of worms, and he's licking his chops there, just waiting to come in at WL, I'm sure.
Right. We might get to talk to him here shortly. Hopefully, we'll get his opinion on that in the next maybe the next time we make a video or something. But yeah, I think that's awesome. I know Storm's probably chomping at the bit to get that left arm on the table for sure.
Yeah, I got to get my right-handed win on RVJ first. That's my my priority. Lefty will fall into place.